Hi everybody, welcome back to videos. This is Unit 5 and it's Section 3, Lesson 3, and we're going to talk about going the other way now, which is writing formulas. So you will be given the name and you will be asked to write the formula. And so the way you write the formula depends on the name that's given. It really depends on if the name has, misaligned there, prefixes or not. Okay, so you're going to look at the name. Let me try that again and see if it has prefixes. The prefixes are the monos, dis, and tris. And if the name does have prefixes, you're going to follow the instructions that are in your notes in the box on the left, which are these instructions. Okay? So you're going to write the symbol for the name of the first element. So for example, carbon, C. You're going to use the prefix, and the prefix will become the subscript. Remember, the subscript is the little number here that's written at the bottom of the formula. It tells us the number of atoms. So carbon doesn't have a subscript, so that just means there's one of it, or a prefix. That just means there's one of it. You do not have to write the ones, okay? Then you write the symbol for the name of the second element. Remember, these are all nonmetals, so we need the nonmetal that sounds like disulfide, which is sulfur, right? Oh my goodness, I was bored. And the prefix, di, becomes the subscript, 2. So this formula is CS2. I'm going to really need to align my board again. Okay, we'll try this again. So again, this next name has prefixes. So we write the symbol for our first element, carbon, and then chloride is from chlorine, Cl. Carbon doesn't have a prefix, so there's only one of it. Tetra means we have 4 chlorines, so it's CCl4, okay? Dioxygen, O2, monofluoride, F1, okay? And again, you do not have to write the ones. So when the name has prefixes, you have to remember that the prefix for the element is the subscript, okay? What if the name doesn't have prefixes? If the name doesn't have prefixes, you're going to follow the directions in the other box, and it's a lot more complicated than that, okay? Number 1, you might have a polyatomic, so you want to make sure you don't have something that's in table E here. Number 2, all these compounds are neutral. So these compounds must be neutral. So you may want to make a note. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my board today. Just stay away from that side of it. It's like possessed. Okay? So you're going to write down the symbol for the first element or polyatomic. Magnesium is an element. It's not on table E, so we write down its symbol. We look up and write down the charge of magnesium or the polyatomic in the upper right-hand corner next to the symbol. If the name has Roman numerals, that is the charge of the first element. So we need to go to our reference tables here and look up magnesium's charge when it's in compounds. So we go here to our periodic table. Where are you? And we look up magnesium's charge. And magnesium in the box right here is +2. So therefore, we go to magnesium and we write down +2. Okay? We write the symbol for the second element or polyatomic. Oxide is just an element oxygen. Just a little note, if the name ends in ite or ate, you definitely have something from table E. So we write down oxygen symbol, and then we go here and look up oxygen's charge when it's in compounds, and it's -2. Now, since these charges equal 0, we're done. That's the formula. Ugh. Magnesium oxide is MgO. Let's look at what we have to do if they don't equal 0. So iron is Fe, This 3 tells me it's iron with a +3 charge. I don't even need to go to the box for iron because, quite frankly, if you go to the box for iron, there's 2 there, so you wouldn't know which one to use. That's why we have to tell you in the name. This is the charge of iron. Okay? Sulfur is S. You go here for sulfur, and you look up its charge. Remember, the metal's always positive and the non-metal's always negative. Sulfur is -2. So this gets a -2 charge. Now, those do not equal 0, so you crisscross. That's, I don't know if you can see it down here, number 6. Just bring down the number. Think of least common multiple. I can't turn a 3 into a 2 or a 2 into 3, but I can turn both these charges into 6. So that would require 2 irons, 2 at +3, and 3 sulfurs, 3 at -2, right? So now the positive charge is +6, and the negative charge is -6. Essentially what I've done is I've just brought down this value here and that value there, right? It's a crisscross. So the formula is Fe2, so sulfur, S3, okay? We'll do another example, aluminum, Al, bromide, Br. We go and look up their charges. Aluminum is +3, bromine is -1. Remember, your metal is always positive. You might want to make a note of that. And your non-metal is always negative. So aluminum's +3, Br's -1. Those don't equal 0. So you crisscross. You will need 1 aluminum, right? This becomes the subscript, but not the negative, because that's the number of atoms. 1 aluminum, and this number becomes the subscript for bromine, 3 bromines. Because now you have one thing that's +3 and 3 things that are each -1. So now that's your answer, the compound is neutral. Okay? We'll do one with the polyatomic. Calcium is Ca. Phosphate is from table E, right? You got to look that up on table E. If it ends in 8 or 8, it's definitely from table E. You write down their charges. Calcium's +2. This whole thing, phosphate, from table E has a charge of -3. Those don't equal 0. Crisscross. Ca3, PO4, 2. Okay? I want you to try these last 2. See if you can't. I think there's only 2 left. 3. Finish those last 3 and try to write the formulas for those. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.